Veera sir, can you make me host?
Done, sir. Already done, sir. Hello.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'm sharing my
Sir,
screen.
I given to post ship to you.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
We'll get started. Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm really sorry my laptop wasn't working today. I got late. Okay, but we still have time and we will cover some of the important aspect today. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Just be with me. Okay, so I'm going to share. You should be able to see my screen now. Okay, so quickly we'll revise what we did last session. Last session, yesterday, we discussed about list. We saw what list is, isn't it? So list has, you can store multiple values in a list, right? That's what we discussed. You can store multiple values. So if I create a list 1, right, and I can store, integer, I can store float, I can store boolean, I can store string, okay, I can store a list as well, right? This is what we saw yesterday. And we look at the basic properties like adding to list, okay, accessing members of list. We could access the members from the list, right? And accessing members from the list is exactly same as we would do for say for string, right? So we have both backward and forward indexing, okay, and we can access members or members from the list. It's very similar to how we do it in string. Great. Okay, then we also did for loop, okay, for loop on list, okay, and then we started talking about few functions which are specific to list, right? So we discussed about append. We did an example also, right? We did an example how to perform append, right? And before we end yesterday, just before we ended, we also discussed about insert. So difference is insert takes position also, okay, to add, okay. Append by default adds at the end, right? Okay, so I was talking about important difference between string and list, right? So what is the difference between string and the list? Okay, so we said that, okay, in string we could not edit the value, right? We cannot perform what is called as editing, okay. So we said that string is immutable. String is immutable, okay, but your lists are mutable, okay. Strings are immutable, but your lists are mutable, right? So I just so let's say you have list 1 here and I want to change second value, okay. So what I'll say, I will do list 1 bracket open, and I'll say 6.5. No, 6.5 I cannot give. This is the indexing. So if I want to change second member, I have to say 1, isn't it? So when I say list 1 of 1, it means I'm accessing second member from the list. And I'm saying equal to 100. Let's see. And now if you print list 1, okay, you will get 100, right? So we could add numbers to existing list. So list is there, we just edit it, right? We did not change the entire list, we just edit it. This is not possible in string, right? We tried to do that in our string example. If you remember, this was not possible. So what we know here is so far that list is mutable. Okay, string is immutable. Okay, great. What next? Let's say I have this list 1, isn't it? And I've added 100 to this list 1. So now let's say create list 2. And I say list 2 equal to list 1. Okay. So list 2 will have same values as list 1. Correct? Now there's another way. Okay. There's another way to assign value. We call it as extend. Okay. We can add one more using extend, or we can add using copy also. Okay. So let's say I create a list 3 using list 1 dot copy. Not here, this side. So list 3 will be duplicate copy of list 1, right? Now let's print list 1 to 3 and see if there are any different in the values. Okay, so I'm going to say print. I'm going to say first here printing after first iteration. Okay, and I'm going to say print list 1, okay, slash n list 2 slash n list 3. Okay, let's print it and see the output. So after first iteration, okay, 300 false hello, all 3 are same, isn't it? We expect it. Okay, so as expected, all 3 have same list of values. Correct? So this is expected, isn't it? Now let's say I add something to list 1. I add something to list 1. So I'm going to say list 1 dot append. Okay, and at the end I add 999. Okay, and I will add to list 2 also. I say mango. And I add, let's say, something to list 3 also. Okay, let's say I add India. Okay, so we have added to it. Okay, now we can remove as well. So see, there are 2 functions to add, isn't it? Append and insert. There are 2 functions, 2 methods to remove as well. They are remove and pop. Okay. Difference is remove will remove the item. Okay, the value. Pop will remove the position. If I want to remove first position, okay, whatever be the value, I want to remove the element from the first position. Whatever be the value, I don't care. Okay, that's when we use pop. But I want to remove specific value. Let's say I want to remove false. Okay, then we use remove. So what we'll do is, okay, let's do it later. First, let's print after one iteration. So I'm going to say printing after second iteration. So guys, you see the output and tell me in the comments, what do you see? Do you see any notice here? Do you notice any important thing here? Tell me, what do you notice? Okay, so initially I created a list L1 with these values and I said this is equal to, right? I said list 2 equal to list 1. And here I said list 1 equal to copy of list 1. Okay. And I added 999 to list 1. So 999 is added to list 1. But see, 999 got added to list 2 also. Okay. I added mango to, I did not add mango. Where did I add mango? I added mango to list 2. But it got added to list 1 also. Okay. But here you see list 3, I added India. So it has only India. It does not have 999 and mango. So there is, though both are used, okay, though both equal to and copy are used, okay, but there's a big difference between them. Difference is list, when we say equal to, okay, list 2 is not created different set of values. Okay, they all point to same data in the memory. Okay, so list 1 and list 2. Okay, so when I create list 1, so list 1 is creating a list in the memory, right? And when I say list 2 equal to list 1, list 2 is pointing to the same memory location. So data is only one, it has got two names. Okay, so one data and two names are created. Okay, and when you do copy, okay, it is like photocopy, Xerox. It is like photocopy. Okay, duplicate copy is created and they are separate. Duplicate copy is created and they are separate. Duplicate copy is created and they are separate. So list 1 and 3 have no connection. Have no connection after this. So whatever you do with 3, 1 will have no impact. Whatever you do with 1, 3 will have no impact. Okay, 1 and 3 are separate. Just that when we created a copy, at that very moment, they are pointing to each other. They're pointing to each other. Make sense? Okay. So that's the another difference, and that's why we say lists are mutable. Okay. When we say equal to, they are pointing to same value instead. Okay, so list one like your brothers and sisters. They live in same house. Okay, and list 3 is like a photocopy. Okay, they so at when you create they are same, but they are pointing to different. Okay, they are pointing to different location in memory. Okay, it's a different set of values. So since they are same, whatever we did with 1, 2 is also reflecting, and whatever we did with 2, 1 is also reflecting. Okay, so this is difference between equal to and copy. Okay, okay. Now we're talking about removing, right? So we said that we have remove and pop. Okay, I want to remove the first element from list 1. So I'm simply going to say list 1 dot pop 0. Okay, list 1, okay, dot pop 0. Okay, why is it giving error? Oh, there's a space here, right? In the beginning, see, there should not be any space. Okay, until unless you are doing in a loop or conditions. Okay, so this is your list 1 dot pop. So now when I print, the first member will be gone, right? First member is gone. So what I'll do is I will print list 2 only, not list 1. And let's see. Print list 2, comma list 2. And when you run it, see, first member is 3. 3 is gone. So even though I said list 1 dot pop, list 2 also first element is gone because they are pointing to the same value, same data. Okay, so but let's say I want to remove, okay, I want to remove false from list 3. So I'm going to say list 3 dot remove, and I say false. Okay, and now I'm going to print list 3. Remove will remove the given value. Okay, so now you see list 3 does not have false, correct? False has been removed. Now what happens if I try to remove a value which is not there? Okay, so I will remove it. I'll remove false, and again I will try to remove it. Let's see. So line 126 will remove false. Line 27 will not have false. But if I try to remove again, what will happen? You get error. What is the error? Error says X not in the list. Okay, so if you are removing it, it's always a good practice to check what if false in list 3. Then you say list 1 dot remove. Else you can say, okay, print, okay, false is not in the list. False is no longer in the list. Okay, so always first when we are removing, first check the value. Now same thing can happen, right? I can try to remove, okay, or pop, let's say list 1 dot pop 100. I'm trying to say list 1 dot pop 100, but it does not have 100 elements, isn't it? Again, we get index error. So it's always a good practice to check. Let's say if you say the pos equal to 100, okay, we have to check if len of list 1, okay, if len of list 1 is greater than pos, only then you perform. Otherwise, you can say else, okay, print if pos index is not in the list. Make sense? So when you try to remove hundreds element, okay, I'll say pos here, not 100, I'll say pos, right? So you get error saying 100 index is not in the list, right? So when you're removing and or doing pop, you have this check. Okay, so pop looks at the index. So check the index. How can you check the index? With the length. Length will tell us how many elements we have. And then based on that, you remove it. Okay. So this is about pop, remove, copy, append, and insert. We have done already. We have reverse. Okay, we have one more function called reverse. Okay, what reverse does is it simply reverses the values of the list. Okay, so let's say I create another set of code here and I will add list 1 equal to, let's say 5, 10, 100, 70, 90, 40. Okay, I want to reverse the list. So I'll say print list 1 dot reverse. Okay, what dot reverse. Now what happens when you run it? Okay, none. This none is because this one does not return any value. Okay, does not return any value. So how do we do that? Okay, we will simply put the list outside. Okay, if this function had returned the value, we'll talk about what return means. Okay, in the function, once we are done with dictionary and set and tuple, we'll talk about function. Next week when we meet, we'll talk about functions. Then we'll see when to return and when not to return. Okay, so in this case, okay, the print will not work because this function does not return anything. For now, just remember that. Okay, function does not return. Reverse method doesn't return anything. Okay, that is nothing but it's called none. Okay, so if you print it, we get none. Okay, so you say list 1. So list 1 is already reversed. List 1 is already reversed. Now when you print list 1, okay, see the value of list 1. 5, 10, 100, 70, 90, 40. 40 has come here. 40, 90, 70, 100, 10, and 5. Okay, so this is how you can reverse the member. Okay, okay. Now next one is sorting. Let's say we want to sort the number. So simply say list 1 dot sort. Okay, now if I print here list after sorted, you say list 1. Now when you print list 1, our list is sorted. See, list is sorted, isn't it? So we can reverse the list, we can sort the list. Okay. Now the sorting is done in increasing order, isn't it? So when you sort is done in the increasing order. But how do I sort in decreasing order? Okay. One option is, that's a trick question, okay? One option is you say, okay, list 1 dot sort, and this list will say reverse. Okay, now you print, okay, you get reverse sorted, isn't it? Which is decreasing order. So 100 will be first. What happens here? This entire thing is a list. Correct? So this entire thing is a list. So, okay. So I'm going to say sort, okay. And then I'm going to say list 1 dot reverse. Okay. It returns nothing. Okay. That's why we cannot do like that. So we have to say sort and then you say reverse. Okay. So you will get in reverse order, isn't it? 100, 90, 70, 40. But this is not the good way. You can directly do the sort, okay, using sort. Here you say reverse equal to true. If you say reverse equal to true here, it will sort in reverse order. Okay, so in this block we have seen how to sort a list. You simply say dot sort and it will sort the list. Simply say dot reverse, it will reverse the list. Content will be reversed. Okay, if you want to perform decreasing order sorting, okay, increasing order is default sort. If you want to perform a decreasing order sorting, you simply say dot sort reverse equal to false. Reverse equal to false will sort in decreasing order. Make sense? Okay. So we also have something called as count. Okay. So let's say in this, I put 90, 90, 90. I want to know how many 90 are there here. I want to know how many 90 we have. Okay. So I'm going to say count of 90 equal to list 1 dot count, and you say 90. I can say print there are, okay, count of 90 values with 90. So count will tell us how many values are there. So see, we have 3 90s, isn't it? So it says there are 3 values with 90. There are 3 values with 90. Okay. Great. So now count is done. We have one more important. Okay. This is called extend. So when we have two lists, okay, when we have two lists, guys, so if you have any questions, right, please put it in the chat, okay, and I'll take up in the discussions. So if you do not put any questions in the chat, I will mean that you have understood anything. If you want me to repeat anything, you have any questions, please put it in the chat, okay, I will repeat, okay, and I will explain again. If you don't put anything, then I'll assume that you understood, okay. So please put your questions in the chat. I will take up, we'll discuss, okay, and if you want me to repeat something, we'll repeat it, okay. So yes, that's how we should take benefit of the session, right? Okay, extend, okay. So earlier what we yesterday, right, last class, yesterday we saw, if you have list 1 equal to, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and if we have another list, okay, equal to 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9 comma 10, you can create list 3 equal to list 1 plus list 2, okay. So if you print list 3 will have 1 to 10 values, right? It will merge list 1 and list 2, okay. Great. We have one more function called as extend. What extends does, I just mentioned before, but I kept on purposely on hold to talk about it later, is when you are adding, let's say you want to add list 2 to list 3 only. See here, you see list 1 value will not change, list 2 value will not change, output goes into list 3, list 1 will not change, list 2 will not change, output will go into, can we write other in reverse place in short function? Okay. So what do you mean by other? I didn't get. Okay. Yeah, Shravan, I didn't get what you mean by other. Okay. Now coming back to here, when I'm adding two values, when I'm adding list 1 and list 2, okay, in list 3, the list 1, list 2 values will not change, right? So if I print list 1, list 2, of course, it will be the old values only, right? But let's say I use extend, that's what we're talking about, right? Extend. Extend will change the value of list 1. Okay. So if I say here, list 1 dot extend list 2, I'm saying I'm extending the values of list 1. So if I print here list 1, okay, you see list 1 is also taking the new value. So answer to Shravan is no. Okay. Sort will only accept reverse. By default, reverse is false. So we get in increasing order. Okay. When we say reverse is true, we get in decreasing or descending order. Okay. Okay. So extend will extend the values of list 1 itself. Extend will extend the values of list 1 itself, as you can see here. So with that, we finish our list discussions. Okay. There is nothing else here, but let's do some example. Okay. So what? Let's do an example here. Okay. So let's say I want to write a program. Okay. Let me do it in a different code here. Write a program. Okay. Where we input date, month, and year, where we input date, month, and year in numbers and display. Okay. Okay, and we display as you know, date. Okay, first or second or third or fourth, th, right? Date space month in what do you call it? Text, and then year as it is. Okay, so year. So for example, we enter example, right? We enter date equal to 25 and month equal to 8, year equal to 2022. Then output would be 25th August 2022. This is what I want to display. Okay, so first let's take input. Okay, so the logic is we'll take the input and we will write few list. See, year we don't have to change, so year will be as it is, so nothing has to be done on the year. But when we are doing month, okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a list. We'll create a list of all the months in text. Okay, so I'm going to say months or month text equal to, okay, I'll put January, right? February, okay, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. So see, if somebody enters 1, which should print January. If somebody enters 2, we should print February. Somebody enters 3 in the month, we should print March. So on, right? Simple. Next, we will put for the date, right? So I'm going to say date th. Okay. So if somebody enters 1, we have to say st first. Somebody enters second, we have to say nd. 2 is nd. Correct? Then if somebody enters, okay, 3, we have to say rd, third. Okay. So 1 is st, nd, rd. Rest. So rest means what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 10th, 11th, 11th, okay, till 20th, till 20th, right? So from 4 to till 20th, we have to say th. After 20th, it becomes 21st. Again, st, 20 st, 22 nd, 23 rd. So I'm going to say this string, and then I can say, okay, so instead I can say 17 times th, comma, th, comma, th. How many times? 17 times. So instead what I'll do is, I can't write 17 times, right? Okay, it will be too big. Instead what I'll do, we'll use our multiplication logic. What is that? Plus will concatenate. And I'm going to say 17 into th. So this is a list. Th is a list. When I say 17 into th, it will create 17 th. Th, 17. And then I will add 2 SD, ND, RD. So now we have handled till 20th. We have handled till 20th. 20, after that again it is 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right? So I'm going to add this. Then what happens? We are not done yet. What happens? Okay, so 20th, after that 24, 25 to 30th. You have to say 30 th, right? For 7. So we have to say here plus 7 into th, right? So let's say I put 7 into th here. Okay, so we have handled the 30th value, right? First 3, 1, 2, 3, nd, st, nd, rd. Then for till 20th, it is 20th. 21st, 22, 23 is your you know, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right? And then till 30th, we have this. Some months will have up to 31st, isn't it? So we have to add 1 st, correct? After 30th, we have to add one more for 31st. There is no 32nd, so we don't have to add nd here. So our list is ready. So when we have list, next step is just pick the value from the list and display. Pick the value from list and display. That is what our intention is. Okay, we will just pick up the value from the list and print it, isn't it? Okay. So now the actual logic will begin. So before we do this, we need to input the year, okay, date, month, and year.
Come down. Come down.
Okay, 1 second.
Come down.
Yeah, sorry, my son was here. Okay, we'll continue. Okay, so we have set our list. Now we will read the values. So first is date, right? So date, I'm going to say it's the number, right? Input the date. Int of input, enter the date. Correct? Now I'm going to say month and year. Okay, month, year. Okay, enter the month, enter the year, right? So let's put D also capital here. So now you have the three values. Now we have to apply the logic. What is the logic? So we will create a string. Okay. So result is a string. What will this string contain? Okay. First, we have to say this value itself, right? So we will say, okay, str of date, right? So we are putting as a string, right? So I'm going to say str of date. So if if you enter 25, it will be converted into string of 25. All right. And now I have to add th. How do I add the th? Plus th is coming from where? Date underscore th. So date underscore th of. Okay. So see, if date is 1, we get 0. If date is 5, we get the fourth one. If date is 25, we should get 24th, isn't it? So date minus 1. That is the index of what we need from here, th. Okay. So so this is anyway string, so we don't have to convert. This is anyway string, right? th and rd along string, so we don't have to convert. So this date we have handled. Now we have to handle month. How to handle month? Okay. So month text of. Month text of. If the month is 8, again, we have to get the 7th value, isn't it? This is 0. So when it is 1, we have to get 0 value. When it is 2, we have to get the 1 value. When it is 8, we have to get the 7th value. So I'm going to say month text of, okay, month minus 1. Month text of month minus 1. Make sense? Okay. So month is also ready. Then year is as it is, right? Year we don't have to do anything. So year it is as it is. So now you print the result. Simple, isn't it? So now when you run it, okay, so it'll ask you enter the date, 25, month, 8th month, year 2022. Oh, okay. Let's see what's the error. Year is the error, isn't it? Because year is integer. Okay. So one, see, can only concatenate string. So year is string. So one thing we can do is we don't convert int here because we need year as a string only. So we don't convert into integer. Or if you convert here integer, you apply str of. Okay. Now here I don't have to convert into str of because already here is when you read input will make it string only, isn't it? Now it should work. So 25 8 2022. 25th August 2022. We need to give space in between. So from date and th we don't need space, but here we need space. So I'm going to say space here. For month and year again we need space. So I'm going to say space here. And when you run it, okay. So let's try with 30th, or let's say try 30th July 2022. 30th July 2022. Okay, so this is an example where you are using the input from the list values and operating. Okay, so list is very important concept. Okay, towards the end, we will of course do a lot of functions, lot of programs we will do, and there you will see, okay, we will need to use list. Yesterday also we did a program, right, where we stored the values obtained by the user. How can you use list? No, for that you can't. Okay, so answer, that was for Shravan. So Shravan, for date of birth, you will have to use date function. Okay, not this one. In list, we are only putting in and taking out values. After functions, we will do module, and then we will look at the date. Okay, awesome. Yes, let the questions keep coming. Okay, please ask questions. Okay, and if you have to do it later, I'll tell you that we'll be doing it later. Okay, awesome. So with that, we finish our list. Assignment, try this program, everyone. Okay, try to do this program. If you don't know, you let me know tomorrow and we will do it in the class. Assignment here is input marks of 5 subjects for 5 students and display the highest marks in each subject. Okay, and also for overall, and name the student. So yesterday we did only to find the highest marks. Today we have to find the highest marks, highest total, and also who scored the highest. Okay, who scored the highest mark? That also we need to display. Okay, great. Now let's move to next topic. We'll extend for another 5-10 minutes. Okay, we'll talk about next topic, which is another important topic and much easier topic. Okay, it is called as tuples. Next topic is tuple. Okay, what is tuple? Tuple is immutable version of list. Okay, so it is also linear collection. Okay, it is also linear collection, can store multiple values, but we can't edit just like string. So we said that, okay, list is immutable, strings are mutable, sorry, lists are immutable, we can edit them. And now we learn that tuple and string are immutable. You can't edit them. Okay, you can't edit them. So how do you declare a tuple? We declare list using square bracket, isn't it? See, square bracket, we have seen 2 uses so far. One first use we saw when we were accessing the members from the string. When we were accessing the members from the string, we use square bracket, right? When you are accessing the members from the string or also from list, okay, even when you are accessing from tuple, all 3, always accessing is always square bracket. Okay, accessing is always square bracket. Okay, whichever data type you are using doesn't matter. Whichever data type you are using doesn't matter. Okay, but accessing is always square bracket. Accessing is also used to declare list. Square bracket, which is used for accessing, is also used for declaring a list. So lists are declared using square bracket. Now to declare a tuple, okay, I'm going to say T1 or T2 equal to simple bracket. Simple bracket. Okay, and this is an empty tuple. So if I print the length of T1, it should be 0, isn't it? Because it does not have any value in it. So the length of tuple is 0. Okay, and we can find the type of T1. When we find the type of T1, it should give us tuple. Correct? It's a tuple. Okay. The difference is when I say immutable or mutable, what does that mean? That you cannot add. You can create a tuple, you can delete a tuple, but you cannot add any value. Okay. So if I try to do T1 dot, okay, let's wait for some time. We'll see how many. So see here, how many functions are available? Only count and index. Life is so easier. We cannot perform anything like extend, update, okay, append, insert, remove, pop. All those things are not available. Okay, not available because it's non-mutable, immutable. It has only two functions, count and index. But you can convert tuple to list. Let's say I want to add a member to tuple. I want to add, okay, I want to add, the tuple to this tuple. Then how do I add to this tuple? It is easy to add to this tuple, okay, by converting this tuple into list. I'm going to say T1 equal to list of T1. When I say T1 equal to list of T1, it will be now list. So you can convert a tuple to list, a list to a tuple. Okay, it's a list. Now you say T1 dot append and say 5. Now append is done. Now I can again convert T1 into tuple of T1. Okay, the tuple of T1. Now this is a tuple. You can print T1. Okay, and it has become a tuple. Okay, so one thing you have to remember here is when you do not have any value, you want to declare an empty tuple, you declare as simple bracket open and close. But if you want to declare one member, you have to say member comma. Okay, this is invalid way. Okay, so T1 equal to, if you want to add just one value, this is invalid. Okay, you can say T1 equal to 5 comma. This is valid. Okay, only for, okay, I have to put, okay, this is true only for, only this is true only if tuple has only one member. Okay, for multiple members it's fine. You can use 5 comma 10 comma 15, it's all fine. For 0 member it's fine. For more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 it's fine, but only if there's one member. Okay, if and only if there's a one member, you have to remember that you have to put extra comma here. Okay, you have to put extra comma here. You cannot put no comma. If you put no comma, it will treat it as integer. Okay, so this is one. So on tuple, we have seen the type of tuple. We have seen how to convert tuple to list to tuple. Okay, we have learned how to add. How do I add to tuple? Tuple is immutable, so you cannot add a member. So if you want to add a member, you convert into list, add using append or insert, and then again convert it back to tuple. Then why do we use tuple if tuple does not allow to us to input, remove? Tuple is useful when you want to do some read operation. Okay, when you want to perform for loop. For loop, tuple is the best. Okay, so let's say if you have created a list, you convert the list to tuple and then use it in the for loop. So for loop kind of example where you want to read, okay, in reading operations, tuple is preferred over list as it is much faster. So lists are converted into tuple for reading operations like for loop or while loop. Okay, lists are preferred for writing operations because tuple is immutable, right? So any questions before we end? We'll stop here for today. Okay, tomorrow when we meet, we'll do a couple of examples and tuple, and then we move to dictionary. Okay, the important topic, which is dictionary, will move tomorrow. Is that fine, everyone? All good? Okay, if it's fine, then we'll see you tomorrow. No questions. So good night. Thank you. And within 1 hour, these notes will be updated in that link. Okay, you can refer these notes, you can practice. Okay, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye, everyone.